Special, equal with the pastor's crown, the soul winner's crown. This is the crown, the victor's crown, the incorruptible crown, to keep yourself clean and pure. People say, well, why should I wait till I'm married to have sex? There's a crown involved, Christians. Well, why should I say no to alcohol? Why should I say no to drugs and to marijuana? Why should I keep my body clean? There's a crown. It's called the incorruptible crown. The victor's crown. Those who keep themselves clean and pure, God's going to give you a crown equal with a pastor's crown and a soul winner's crown. But you know why most of us lose that? Somebody. Peer influence. Yeah. Who cares if you do this? God cares. You've just surrendered a crown that God has set up for your reward. You surrendered it because somebody talked you into doing something you shouldn't have done. Said that was pretty victorious. Look here. The crown of righteousness. Now look here. 2 Timothy 4:8. You say, finally an easy one. The Bible says that the crown of righteousness is for everyone who loves his appearing. You say, well, finally I might get one. I want Jesus to come back. Now wait a minute. Did you really get up this week? One day this week say, this is the day Jesus is coming back. Did you say that? Excuse me. You know who gets this crown? Those who love his appearing. Those who are living for the coming of Jesus Christ. How many Christians are that way? Our priorities are so set on ourselves and on the world, we don't think he's coming back. Right. The average Christian don't think he's coming back. We don't live that way. We don't think that way. But those who live that way and think that way and work that way, he says, I got a crown for you. For all those who love his appearing. Do you realize the world is going to influence you away from thinking Jesus is coming back, away from doing eternal things? Why? What you know what's at stake? The crown. You're going to surrender your crown to somebody who keeps you away from serving God and loving his appearing. The last crown, the crown of life. Revelation 2:10 and James 1:12. Revelation 2:10 talks about those who endure to the end, those who are faithful to the end. Very few are going to do that. We never give up. We never quit. We never quit. We never go. It's got a special crown. Also, in James talks about this, the martyr's crown. It's the one that people, listen, somebody this week, listen, on planet Earth, gave their life because they're a Christian. That's right. It didn't happen in Cheyenne, but it happened somewhere on this earth. Yeah. Somebody stood up and said, I'm going to stand for Jesus. They were killed because they're Christians. He gives them a special crown. Those who endure to the end, look it up, and those who die, who give their life, the martyr's crown, the crown of life. Now, there's some other special ones. I'm going to close with this. Special rewards for some. Did you get that? Not all. The overcomers. They all have the passive inheritance. This is the active inheritance where you actually do something and God honors your obedience, your faithfulness, your commitment. Here we go. You didn't know this. God honoring clothes, okay? Did you know that? As long as it doesn't have a tie attached to it, I was okay. When I studied this, I said, as long as there's no neckties, I'll be okay. All right, let's look at this, church. Revelation 3. Let's go back to Revelation 3. Revelation 3, 4, and 5. Write down these references so you can go home and look them up yourself. Revelation 3, 4, and 5. Now listen to the terminology here, church. Thou hast a few names, even in Sardis, which have not defiled their garments. And they shall walk with me in white, and they are worthy. Verse 5, he that overcometh, there's your word. This is the special rewards, the overcomers. He that overcometh, the same shall be clothed in white what? Raiment. Now that's important. The word raiment is very important. White raiment. Not just white, but white raiment. And I will not blot out his name out of the book of life. I'll confess you for my Father. Now wait a minute. That verse always bothered me. It says, when you got saved, your name was written into what? The book of what? But wait a minute. You know what the verse says? If you're the overcomer, and get to be in white raiment, he said, I will not blot his name out of the book of life. That's always bothered me. You know what he's saying? Now, I'll confess you for my Father. He goes right back, but we studied the other week. goes right back to those who are saved, yet as by fire, the judgment seat of Christ. You get no rewards. But you know what? He'll never take your name out of the book of life. You may not get the white raiment, the special honor, rewards, but you know what Jesus is saying? I'll never blot your name out of the book of life. That's what he's saying. You may not have anything except your passive inheritance, but I'll not blot your name out of the book of life, but I will confess his name before my Father and before his angels. Wow. That ought to teach us that our salvation is secure, even if we do nothing for God. Now, I'll take that reference. Let's go back to Matthew 17. Matthew 17, now look carefully here, church. Jesus, he took Peter, James, and John to the Mount of Transfiguration. All right? That's the story. Matthew 17, verse 2. Now listen to the terminology. When you talk about Jesus, he was transfigured before them. Jesus was transfigured before them. And his face did shine as the sun. His face said, oh, wait a minute. And his raiment was what? White as the light. Who had the white raiment? Jesus, when he was translated to heaven. Right? Now, the Bible said earlier, we are heirs of the Father, joint heirs with Jesus. Did you follow me now? So Jesus is going to be arrayed different in heaven than the average people are going to be arrayed in heaven. He's going to have white raiment in that. Now, we're going to see here in a little bit what the other ones are going to have in heaven. Maybe I wrote it down. Let me just a second here. Let me follow my note here. It's not on the screen. Well, I'm sorry, it's not your fault. It's mine. Yeah, go to Revelation 7. There we go. Yeah, there it is. Revelation 7. The white raiment is what Jesus has. We're joined there with Jesus. He gives us special garments. If you study the raiment showed in our society, you go back and study it out, shows rank or authority. You guys in the military, a guy walks in the door, you're not looking at him, you're looking at his raiment. You're looking at his uniform. You can tell his rank by his uniform. Is that not true? Very much so. When you get to heaven, the overcomer is going to have different rank, different raiment, different garments than the average. Here's where it says, Revelation 7:9. After this, I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed in white what? Robes. Yeah. Everyone's going to have a white robe that goes to heaven, but the overcomers, through the judgment seat of Christ, get the white raiment. They're joint heir with the Father. It shows a different rank, a different authority, a different honor. You say, well, why should I do all this stuff? There's reasons for it. And this is not just for the millennium, this is forever. Forever. All right? It gets even better. Look at Revelation, here in Revelation 2, look at verse 17. You knew I could talk about food somewhere. Oh, here it is. Revelation 2. 2:17 is a great verse because it talks about several things that we're going to have the overcomers. How do you know that? Look at Revelation 2:17. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith to the churches. To him that what? Overcometh. There you go again. These are the overcomers. Those who have special rewards at the judgment seat of Christ, the overcomers. He says, to him that overcometh will I give to eat of the hidden manna. The hidden manna. Now think about that. Does that ring a bell with anybody? If you go back, not right now, to Exodus 16, 36, in the Ark of the Covenant, what did it have in there? Huh? Anybody? Little time out for Bible time here. What's in the Ark? That was protected. What was it? Manna. Right? And what else? The rod that budded and the Ten Commandments. And the Ark of the Covenant protected. Now what was the first thing that was in there? Manna. Now why in the world do you think God would put manna in a box? I mean, this is his special miracle to the children of Israel. You know why? Because there's sometime those who are overcomers are going to get to eat of the hidden